Hey guys, sorry about all the technical difficulties. I had a lot of issues trying to get my emulator up and running, but I finally had it working and everything should be good to go now. So welcome back. I hope you guys have had a great break, been sleeping in, and hope you're ready for our semester starting very soon. So I just want to quickly show you what we'll be building right here with some of these images. I did post these in the Discord too if you didn't get a chance. But what we'll be building is a really simple app that will make use of an API that will allow us to check out the travel information about different countries. So we have right now, this is going to be our home screen. This is what we'll be working on today. And then from here, we'll have a picture, some text showing up, some clickable buttons, and then along with that, we'll have a search that'll allow us to search up different countries and then click on those and then see some information about them. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you don't already have VS Code installed along with an Android emulator and all that done, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel and you'll be able to figure out how to set all that up. But if you have that ready to go, then let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we'll want to do is let's create a new folder for our new project. And I would recommend finding some place on your desktop or somewhere on your computer that you keep all your Flutter projects. For me, I just have a simple folder in my documents. So go ahead and navigate there. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and create a new folder and call it whatever you want. For me, I called it Travel App Walkthrough. And then after you do that, you can go ahead and X out your file explorer. And we're going to open up VS Code now. So I'm going to go ahead and type in VS Code, and you want to click open this with a new window. So you can either right click if it's on your desktop or on your bottom taskbar, or you can just search up VS Code and click on New Window. And VS Code should launch up for us. And the next thing we want to do is you want to open up that folder that we just created in VS Code. And you can do that by going up here and clicking on Open Folder. And then go ahead and navigate to it and click on Select Folder. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger for everyone so I can make sure everyone can see what's happening. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we have access to all of our starter code. So if you look down in the description of this video that we're watching right now, of this stream, you should see a GitHub repository link. And it should take you to this GitHub page and that contains all of our starting code that we'll need. Basically, it's the same thing that you would have when you create a new Flutter project with a few pictures and assets included with it. So go ahead to get this GitHub repo to get started. Go ahead and click on this code button right here and copy this link to your clipboard. Then go back to VS Code and click on Clone Repository and paste that paste that link that we just got. It'll ask for us to select the repository location. I'm just going to go ahead and put it right where we were before. So in my Flutter projects and in this app, in this folder that we had created. It's going to ask if we want to open it right now in this current workspace, and we're going to go ahead and click Open because we want it to be here. Apparently there's some packages out of date. We can just click on Get Packages and Flutter will get those packages for us. So now that we're ready to go, we can go ahead and X that out. And let's go ahead and make sure we have all of our emulators launched so we don't have to wait too much, so we don't have to have so much time being taken up by launching those, because it does take a little bit of time, especially if it's your first time. So in the bottom right hand corner, you should see something that says no devices. For me, it shows up with what I have already up, but if it says no devices, go ahead and click on it, and it should give you an option that says that shows up with the name of your emulator. Go ahead and click on that, and you should see the emulator starting to load up on your screen. Another way you can do this is by going to View, then Command Palette, and then typing in emulator. And you should see Flutter launch emulator, so that's another way you can go ahead and get your emulator started and up and running. So while that's happening in the background, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So like I said, a lot of the files that we already have would be things that would come when you just create a brand new Flutter project. One difference that we can see here is actually this assets folder. So this typically wouldn't be here. And all that is that it includes a PNG that we'll have on our home page and then a bunch of country flags. So I went ahead and include that for you guys so we wouldn't have to go ahead and download anything. And then here's the folder that we'll be working in for pretty much the entire time, which is our lib folder. And that contains everything, including our main.dart file. And we'll check that out in just 1 second. Oh, and then another thing we might want to go ahead and do is, let's get our current project. So go ahead and click on the main.dart file inside our lib folder. And let's get it pulled up what we have on the emulator. And we can do that by pressing your function key, then F5. Or simply running Flutter or doing that same thing that I showed you earlier, which is to go to command palette and clicking Flutter emulator and running your emulator basically. So that'll take a little bit of time as well. Move that. So let's go ahead and look at these few other files. So we also have a data file here, which wouldn't be included. And that just has a map with a bunch of country acronyms with their full country name as well. And we also have a model, which just has a simple class. And we'll get to use that in the later workshop parts as well. So as you can see, it's going to take a little bit of time to launch this app for the first time. But if we go ahead and look at what we have, this is just basic boilerplate code that comes in every single Flutter app. So all it is that it's just going to display a simple clickable button, and it'll show up on the right side basically. Looks like we have a little error. Okay. Well, let's try one more time. So we're just getting a little error. Hopefully it goes away. If not, then obviously we're going to have to do a little bit more. Yikes. So it looks like we are running into errors again. I thought I had gotten rid of all of them. And if I'm completely honest, it might be best that we do delay this then at this point. I was hoping that this wouldn't come to this, but we might have to reschedule for tomorrow now. I didn't want to do this, and I was hoping that we could get started, but by the looks of it, I don't want to waste anyone's time and having them watch me work through all of this. And I want to make sure everything's working already. So we're going to go ahead and delay and pick up from where we are starting tomorrow at 1:15. And I'll be sure to send out reminders and everything. But as long as you go ahead and get everything installed by pulling that GitHub repo and taking a look at all these files in the meantime as well, just to see what we're playing around with. I also have the final repo there if you want to go ahead and just pull that and see what the final app looks like and play around with it as well. But for now, I'm really, really sorry that we had to do this and that I ran into all these issues. I had tried my best to get this done, and I had been working on this issue for over an hour now. So I'm really sad that it had to come to this, but hopefully I'll have everything done by tomorrow, and we'll pick it up right at 1:15 tomorrow. Again, I'm really sorry about